You are watching Father Fish. Now please enjoy the video.
Yes, of course it will.
Oh, but if you've got plants.
Plants are consuming nitrates, correct. Now, let's see. Here's the thing about nitrates. Everybody gets panicked about nitrates because all the test kits say if your nitrates are over 50, it's time to be, oh my God, OMG, OMG, oh, my nitrates are over 50. Oh, no. What shall we do?
I can't get my nitrates over 50. My plants eat up too much.
I have had nitrates at 500.
What?
500. There was substantial research that was done by Stephen the biologist, his laboratory, on the effect of nitrates as it is increased on fish. Want to hear what they determined?
Yes, I want to hear.
Here's the news. When it hit 250, there was some minimal but detectable effect on some species. Didn't affect their ability to spawn, to thrive, to be healthy at 250. At 350, there were some fish that began to stress. Not many, mind you. And the ones that did stress were not the kinds of fish that we keep in our aquariums. They were fish that live in environments where there is virtually no detritus, or rather no humic material.
Like fast flowing rivers?
Like fast flowing rivers, yeah.
Okay.
At 450, there began to be visible effects. At 500, some fish began to stress severely. So unless your nitrates are over 250, they need be of no concern whatsoever.
Oh, I had a question. Then how come we have this, like, oh no, nitrates are bad?
It sells product.
Okay.
It sells test kits. It sells denitrification materials. It sells products. That's the only reason. There is no other reason.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to ask you. What was your you said what was the research on this? Like, what is the source that you were referring to? Because I don't want people to think that you're just BSing it. You aren't BSing it, but what was the research that was conducted?
Stephen the biologist worked for a national laboratory in Virginia.
Okay.
The name of which I'm not allowed to put out there.
Ooh, super secret spy stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, kind of. It's a government project. But the research is available. You do a little digging, you can find it. Here's the thing, though. What happens to nitrates in nature? And what are they, in fact, in the life cycle? They are the end product of bacterial impact on ammoniated products. You get ammonia, what happens? There are bacteria that attack that ammonia. Two things happen. That's one. The other thing that happens is plants take up ammonia directly. They absorb ammonia directly. Plants, let me say that again. Plants absorb ammonia directly. Now, here's the thing with setting up the new tank and why I'm so hot on getting a lot of plants in that brand new tank. Because if you will do that, you will never have an ammonia spike because the plants will absorb the ammonia. Everybody panics over ammonia strikes. Easiest way in the world to control ammonia is to literally fill the tank, the brand new early tank, with plants, not a sprig or two here and there, hands full of plants.
Now that can be expensive. Plants are expensive, but I give away plants for free, y'all.
Well, they're expensive if you go into a store and buy them. If you go out in your local pond, ditch, creek, stream, river, bay, and collect them, they're not expensive at all. In fact, they're rather cheap. And they will, in addition to providing that ammonia sponge, they will also bring a host of living organisms into your tank. There are one or two that are somewhat problematic. The rest are not at all.
What are those problematic ones?
Well, you tell me. What's problematic that you can bring in from the wild?
Duckweed and hornwort. But that's only because they reproduce so prolifically.
Yeah, but you can then control it. I mean, granted, duckweed's a little hard to control. I found the secret though to controlling duckweed. There are two things you can do. You can get a waru because they love it. A goldfish loves it. Goldfish will eat every speck of duckweed in that tank, and they won't cause them a problem with other plants or other fish. A small goldfish. If you've got a duckweed problem, get a couple of little goldfish. They will wipe it out.
I might actually do that. Kind of. I'll see.
They're easy. They're fun. They're pretty.
Yeah, they are. I just don't, I just know that the biggest tank I have is a 75, and I know that it's definitely not set up for goldfish.
Well, don't put fancies in it. Just get a couple of comets. That'll do just fine. There are fish that eat them too. Waru is one of my favorites. My least favorite is silver dollars. Silver dollars will eat duckweed. They'll also eat every other plant in the tank.
Oh, well, at least they're not discriminatory.
No, they're not. They'll eat every other fish in the tank too. They're really on it. They're nasty bugger. What is
there was a question that they asked that I really thought, oh yes, so Fanatical said nitrates were only a concern because when they are high in my tank, the dreaded BBA takes over, Blackbeard algae.
Well, for obvious reason. Blackbeard algae is an algae. It's an algae that needs a high level of nitrate. It absorbs a lot of nitrates in order to survive. So by having it in there, it's giving you control over that nitrate level as it climbs. In time, it will die out because it will control the nitrate level. Blackbeard algae. Algae is your bestie, after all.
I've never had to deal with Blackbeard. I've had to deal with staghorn or hair algae. And, oh God, Cyanobacteria. First time experienced it like a couple of weeks ago on a bowl that I set up. It was awful. I managed to save the hardscape and the plants on the hardscape, but it was, yeah, I had to start over.
Yeah, and it's the same issue, really. It occurs when nitrates. It's a way in which the natural system is controlling the balance. It's a nitrate and phosphate balance that's being controlled. So, and it's one that kind of comes at the very, very late in the cycle when the level has gone pretty high.
Yeah, this was this was a bowl that I put way too much nutrients into. It was, and I know we talked about this kind of about, oh God, I want to say 2 months ago. It's all starting to run together. But we talked about this not too long ago. One of the first conversations we had when I started doing this with you on Friday, that if you overdo it on the soil and the soil nutrients and the fertilizers, that it will, and you don't have enough of a sand cap, it will completely destroy the tank. And I had that. I got my experience of it. Fortunately, I didn't have any fish in there. I was just watching it. I'd put snails and scuds and blackworms and paramecium and microfauna, and they were doing okay. But after a while, it started to smell, and I realized that there's a real problem or an imbalance in the tank, and I was able to address it relatively.
Well, I hope you found something you've never seen before. Have a great day. Nice having you with us. Come on back.